Which side do you need to get the towel?
Left.
This side?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm going
He's a lot stronger today than he was yesterday. Done?
One more. His mouth. How you been feeling? It's a yucky weather morning, but we've had good news today. Baby Rip is up and doing great. Did you give him a motivational speech? So good morning. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the farm. Hope you're doing well. The rain has slowed down a little bit. Just a few minutes ago, there's no way you would have been able to hear me with this huge tin roof and the amount of rain that we're getting here on March 1st. We are now officially, James is claiming it the entire month to be the month of Scotland. He likes to gig me like that. We do this every March, so because I pull out all my Irish beauty wear and he's walking around, so this is what we do. Okay, although I am quite Scottish myself. I'm actually more Scottish than actually Irish, but I am a lot Irish as well. And I have a particular bloodline of Irish in my my mom and father both. My dad and mom are both Irish, but one particular bloodline, I'm a Carol. So I've done all the research on that. But long story short, welcome back to the channel. So welcome to March. We have had a very, very, very dramatic and traumatic 18 hours here on the farm. I didn't film yesterday because I was in I wasn't in a panic, but in a slight panic. I did not want to lose my best goat, which is my buck. If you've watched this channel for a while, you know that I've raised my buck, Rip. I named him Rip, R.I.P. Rip, yes, from Yellowstone. His name originally was Cowboy, and when I took him in as a two-day-old bottle baby because his mama rejected him, he is a registered Nubian. Thank you, sweetheart. I had to change his name to Rip because I already have a cowboy. I have a two socks and cowboy, and they look very much alike. So I said, well, let's just name him Rip because Yellowstone was very popular at that time too, still is. But welcome back to the farm. Let me explain to you what's been going on. So first and foremost, I'll tell you what's going on, and then I'll get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation. But I want to give a shout out to three sources right now. I want to give a shout out to Katie Hopkins because I do watch her channel. I do follow her on Instagram. She is, guys, she is speaking up loud and proud and has been for quite a while on all the things that we are seeing happening around the world and in England and the globe, everywhere. I would say she would fit in just fine with all of us American patriots. And yesterday she put out a video about the Welsh farmers. I know a lot of you are talking about what's going on in India. You need to be aware of what's going on in Wales as well with the farmers, from what I understand. Little slimy politicians, pin pushers, as Katie called it, and I agree with that, are basically trying to tell farmers that they have to give up so much of their land, like 10% to plant trees, okay, and 10% for wildlife. We'll get into that in just a second. So I've got several things to talk about. But then I also want to give a big shout out back to Jeremiah Babe. I know that he has done some shout outs again for me and my channel over on his channel in like the last week or so. And I just want to thank him. I'm always telling you to follow him. Straight talker, straight shooter. I enjoy his channel. He has been so kind to us, and I just want you to hop over there. So Katie Hopkins, Jeremiah Babe, and then I also want to give a shout out back to the Poplar Report. I think he does a great job on his channel, and he gave me a shout out last week as well, so I'm a little delayed. I apologize on thanking these people for what they are doing and for, you know, mentioning me and my channel, and I just appreciate it. We appreciate you. These are some great channels you need to check out. They're all three very different, but they all are bringing you the news in terms of things that are happening here and around the world, and they are fighting for you. They are. By bringing you the news and talking out things and showing you things that are going on, honestly, now is fighting for you. Okay, so check those channels out. Thanks to them. And let me tell you what's been going on. And it leads into why your farmers are very important. So yesterday, interestingly enough, I got a comment from someone. Did I just get mud on my face? Probably. It'll match my moles, y'all are questioning. I've had these moles on my face since I was a little girl, y'all. So, and they ain't going nowhere because my dermatologist keeps up with me every 6 months, and I'm in perfect health. So it is what it is, y'all. Beauty marks, beauty marks, beauty marks. So I got a, strangely enough, before I get into this, I got a comment yesterday from a lady that said, she said she's followed my channel, and she said since I've gotten into politics and world events, she's not going to follow me anymore because she just wants to hear about homesteading. Well, ma'am, I've been talking about these things for years now, so clearly you're not following my channel, because if you just now came to the conclusion that I'm talking about world events and politics, religion, and her, that's a Sammy Kershaw song, you haven't been watching my channel, so that's a bona fide lie. So no offense to everybody out there while I say this, but ma'am, you can go, because we don't want liars and cheats around here, okay? So that's all right. Here's why I talk about the things that I talk about. World and global events are affecting farmers and homesteaders. They're trying to tell you that you shouldn't even grow a tomato plant in your backyard. And yet you want to tell a farmer, a politician, one can speak and one cannot. You are a corrupt and stupid person if you believe that. The farmers, in so many ways, and I've said this for many, many years, the farmers are on the front lines for you in so many ways, because while I am not a big-time farmer, I am a growing goat farm, that is for sure. I am a homesteader. I know how to grow my own food. I know how to butcher my own meat. I know how to help take care of animals and have a pretty decent outcome as far as saving them. I know how to do a lot of things like so many of you homesteaders and farmers out there that the majority of the population cannot. That doesn't make us bigger, badder, and better, but it makes us awfully important in so many ways. And when the politics and the evil grip of the world tries to push on us, we are the ones on the front lines to push back, or we are the ones to warn you. I'm not just sitting around reading you the news today. I'm out here showing you as much as I can what we do. Okay? And that's what farmers are doing. They're showing you what they're doing. And they are the ones with lots of regulations and lots of issues that are being brought to the forefront. They are the ones that are speaking and pushing back and giving you the first heads up on what's happening to your food supply. How things are getting more expensive. If this happens to my farm, or if this happens to a dairy farm, or if this happens to this part of agriculture, you are going to be paying more at the supermarket. Or worse than that, they are going to be putting tainted items more so than they do right now into your food supply. So yes, I think that honestly, I think the farmers of the world have the most important position right now. Doesn't mean that every single one of them is a perfect person. That's not what I mean. But I am saying, if you're trying to cut out farmers from speaking about politics and global issues and tyranny, boy, you've got it all wrong. So yesterday morning, just like right now, 24 hours ago, everything on this farm was just fine. I fed everybody, took care of everything. I did it all by myself. My husband was at work, had no issues. Yesterday afternoon, mid-afternoon, when it was time to milk and it was time to do all the afternoon chores, my husband was home. I was in the barn and he yelled, "You've got a goat down over here." It happens that fast. It happens that quick. You can have a goat, you can have any animal for that matter, but particularly goats. You can be perfectly fine 1 minute, come back an hour later, it could be gone or totally down. So my buck, my prized buck, Rip, was totally down on his side. He was still moving, but he was down, and he was beginning to stargaze. So I didn't panic, but I went into action. So yesterday afternoon, I gave him 3 doses of medications. I'm giving him penicillin. Thiamine, I've moved to thiamine now. I have B complex. If you kept up with me last month in Saving Vinny, I have B complex, which has thiamine in it, but I've moved to straight thiamine. We'll talk about that in a second. And then I've moved to ivermectin. I'm just going to tell you what I've done. So I gave him a dose, the recommended dose for his weight at that time. And then about 4 to 5 hours later, I gave him another dose. By last night, he was beginning to sit up. He wasn't stargazing anymore. I caught it in time. I knew what to do. I have on hand what I need because that's how farmers work. Typically, they are ahead of the curve. Unless it's something they've never encountered or they've never seen before, farmers are ahead of the curve. They understand the environment. They understand what to do due to real life experience. They're not pen pushers. They're not people behind a desk all day long. They're not people with just an opinion or an agenda. They're working the land. They're working the land. So we moved him into the stall over here because it's very flat and very covered because I knew this rain was coming. And I knew he wouldn't be stepped on or anything like that. He's so heavy. He weighs 200 pounds. So we moved him. By last night, like I said, we were able to again give him his medications. We were able to get him up, and he was starting to walk again on his own. And he started to drink a little bit of water. As you can see this morning, we have treated him again. He is not combative at all because I bottle and hand raise this baby. And so far, knock on wood, he has been very, very good to us. If we need to move him, work with him, trim his hooves, whatnot. So James held him, and I decided to go ahead and give him another round, and I'm going to keep him up in there at least through the day. I'm going to continue to monitor him and watch him, but I will tell you, fast action, I'm talking loud because it's getting loud, fast action by a little old homesteader. I'm just a little old girl here in the hills of East Tennessee. But I've been doing this a long time, and I've worked with a lot of farmers. The majority of them are men, respectable, hard-working men and elders. And they treat me like I'm their daughter. They treat me like I'm their sister, and we take care of each other. And we knew what to do. So as you can see this morning, he's up and around again. He is eating. I did check his temperature. He did not have one. His lids, I checked his lids. You're going to ask about that. They are as red as my hat. He is urinating. It looks completely normal. He's not shaking his head from his ears. So I do think that we were beginning to see the beginning of polio again. This is not uncommon, unfortunately, with goats. We saved Vinny last month, and it looks like we're going to be saving Rip now. But this is what I'm trying to stress to you. This isn't about me. This isn't about Patara or how good, bad, or indifferent I am. This is about farmers. This is about the fight that the farmers around the world, in Brussels, as we've talked about in India, now we have Wales, the farmers here. They're trying to, the lame politicians, as Miss Katie said, from all around the world and in so many places, are pushing in on farmers. You should be livid about this because, guys, they are the ones that are the people that are ensuring that you have food on the shelf. We, even the small grade farmer or homesteader, you want to call us, as you know, are the ones that are teaching skills to our local people or maybe to you on YouTube. We're the ones talking about how to raise chickens, how to milk a goat, what typical medications you may or may not need on your farm. I could go on and on and on. How to raise rabbits, honeybees, all of the above. My channel has all of these topics all across my channel. I have over 2,000 videos, And a lot of them are straightforward educational videos. A lot of these homesteaders and farmers are teaching new classes with, local facilities or conferences. Your politicians aren't teaching you anything but corruption. So yes, ma'am, should the farmer be involved in all of the politics? Personally, I think that if you haven't had a life experience for so many years in terms of working on a farm or being a farmer, I don't think you should be qualified to be a politician. I think that should be one of the qualifications. I also think that you should potentially have military experience. But I didn't make the rules. But I do know the game. And I'm telling you right now, you better be listening and standing up for and with your farmers. Don't expect them just to get out there and push manure all across the everybody, everywhere in terms of politicians and government buildings. We should be standing together, and you should be supporting your farmers, your local farmers. If you haven't gotten to meet them, go to a farmer's market. Go buy some items from them. Keep them on the survival list. They are the ones with the knowledge for the most part in terms of basic life skills. I'm not a doctor, but I've had a lot of experience with vets. I've had a lot of life experience with other great farmers and teachers that know what to do and how to handle situations. What if you go and have your startup of a homestead and you have a goat down and you don't know what to do? Who are you going to call? Your local senator? You won't get through, will you? They don't listen to you now. You think most of them are going to know how to save your prized Nubian buck? No. And I only learned all of this through life experience. While I was going to school at one time to go to the University of Tennessee Vet School, I ended up being a mother instead. That's what God wanted in my future. That's what I am today. But I still became a homesteader. So yes, stand up for your farmers. Understand what's going on. Again, in Wales, we have a situation in India. Look at Texas right now. Texas, the Panhandle in Oklahoma, on fire. How many cattle are we going to lose here in the United States? Look at all the people that are devastated. And a lot of them are small rural towns or they are farmers. You think the farmer is going to be operating anytime soon, making sure that you have meat on your Kroger shelf when there is no cattle to take to slaughter? No. Understand that this is a full global attack, not just on the farmer. They're coming after your food supply. You should already be more than aware of that. So I will keep you posted on Rip. He's up, walking around. He urinated again this morning, and I know that you're going to say, why is that important? I need to make sure that all bodily functions are happening. He is eating, he is drinking, he is walking, he can see, he's not shaking, he's not having tremors, he can urinate. This could change by this afternoon, but right now it looks positive. So I'm not claiming victory by any chance here, but the bottom line is we knew what to do, and I had thiamine on hand, which is what you need to have on hand. You may have to get the prescription. Probably you will have to get the prescription from your vet, most likely. And that's what we moved to, and I think that has saved him. I think that the immediate action on our part, with the combination of what I told you I'm giving him, I'm doing a broad spectrum treatment for him, whether it's pneumonia, whether it's polio. We're not sure. If his condition worsens again, I will be calling my vet out, or I will be loading him up and taking him to the University of Tennessee. But understand what's going on out here, folks. And understand this is a direct effect to you being able to feed your children. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray for Mr. Rip. So far, we're on the up and up. I'll keep you posted. We're going to stay very aggressive with treating him and watching him and taking care of him, and we appreciate your support here on the channel. Go check out those folks that I mentioned earlier, and again, I thank them. I thank you, because I love you. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to go have my breakfast finally and get out of this crazy March 1st weather. Godspeed and God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.